Hey guys, welcome back from Classic Work. This is part 2 of cutting hips and rafter valleys. And in this episode I'm going to show you how to put a valley in. So this technique's a little bit more complicated. There's a little bit more math involved, but it's still fairly easy, and I'm going to show you step by step how to do it. So let's get started, let's get after it. I'm just going to give a little bit of an overview from the last video. For the valley, it's going to be the exact same formula as it is for the hip. So nothing's changed on that. So if you look up in your little blue book on rafter tables, it's the exact same measurement for the valley as it is for the hip. So it's going to look very, very similar to this one. The only difference is the tail of the rafter down here, it won't have one. It'll be just cut off and stuck on top of the plate or the wall segment. But that's the only difference. Same math and everything is involved. So let's get started. Okay, let's cut this valley rafter. Now, our building is 4 foot wide and the pitch on it is 6 and 12 pitch. If you look in your little rafter table book, it'll tell you that the length for the valley and the hip rafters are 36 inches. So, knowing that information, we'll get started. On your speed square, you're going to use the hip and valley markers for cutting your valley. So everything that you're going to do is going to be done by this top row right here. So start off, we're going to come to the corner of our board over here and place the square on 6 and 17. Scribe a line. Take out some form of measuring device and come down 3/4 of an inch, and then another 3/4 of an inch, so that'd be 1.5 inches. Do it on both sides so you got parallel lines to scribe to. Now this right here is for the cheek cut that's going to be on the ridge. So you can take anything straight, or you can use your square again and go ahead and scribe your lines. Okay. Now then, take your rafter, turn on edge, take your 45-degree leg, and you'll come back and scribe your lines again. And flip your square over and do the same thing. Okay, and then there's your cheek cut. All this right here will be your waist. So you're left with a nice little pretty V for the top of the ridge. Now then, you're going to be measuring when you come down. We got to measure down 36 inches. You're going to measure from the center portion. Don't forget that, from the center portion. So you'll have to hook your tape kind of halfway on the line, best eyeball can do, and come down 36 inches. Okay, 36 inches. Okay. Now then, down here towards the tail, I can't put the square over here to do my 6 and 17. If you notice, the end of the board doesn't come down that far, so you can flip your square around and put it on the other end to read off your square. So go back to 6 and 17, and on your line, scribe your line. Take out your measuring device again, and we're going to do the same thing that we did up on the ridge, because valley rafters have double cheek cuts that you have to do. Alright, the same up here, 3/4 of an inch, 1.5 inches. Okay. Take your square again, and scribe your lines. Okay. Now then, you're going to flip your board up once again. You may have to draw your lines on top to start yourself. Take your square, turn on 45-degree leg, and scribe your lines over there. From square over, do it again. Okay. Make sure those are on the line. You can draw you a smaller line, and if you notice, this one's intersecting, but this one's not, so I'm going to have to redraw it. So we'll put it up like this. Much better. See how much I was off? Sometimes that can be very, very confusing. So sometimes it's nice to have extra lines. So all this will be the waist. You want to keep this V right here. Okay. Now then, on the bottom portion right here, this part right here is going to sit on the plate. That's the wall that's on your house. So you're going to take the width of a 2x4, which is 1.5 inches, come up from the bottom, make a mark, and you're going to take a square. You can use your speed square, or I got this framing square handy. I'll just use it. And you're going to draw a perpendicular line to your center line, which is right here. And then draw this all the way across. Okay. Now, this right here is the bird's mouth seat. Since this rafter will not have a tail, you can make it as long as you want it. It's not going to affect anything. So, I know all this looks really complicated, but remember, you're going to cut your 45. This portion right here, that's the same on top of the ridge, and this right here will be cut 90 degrees. So this line right here will just be a straight cut. So I'm going to go ahead and cut all these, and we'll see how it fits. And I'll show you a close-up of this so you can understand how it kind of works. Alright, here's that big fancy cut down at the bottom. Double cheek cut on the same thing on the other end. Okay, and we'll test the fit now. See how she does. Alright, take a look at the fit. Up on the ridge, got a nice tight fit. Both sides. And we got a good fit right here too. Bottom. Let me come up under here. There you go. Now, disregard this tail right here. That's not supposed to be there. That's what's holding this plate up, since I don't have a full scale model. But it just gives you an idea of how that valley actually goes in there. One other note that I was going to say is this is not the only way that you can put a valley in. Most valleys that I've seen, when they span a lot of distance, like if you get over 12 feet, they have 2 valley rafters. Now the process is the same, except you will only cut 1 cheek cut per side. So more or less, this right here, you'd only cut this side right here, but it'd be the full length. So you'll have one on one side, and then you would have another rafter nailed to it to the other side. So, but the technique is the same. You'll have to measure from your center portions, but you'll only have 1 cheek cut to make. I hope this clears up some of, if anybody's having any problems. This technique that I just showed you, it's a little bit complicated. I'm sorry if it seemed a little bit distant and a little bit out there. So I hope y'all enjoyed it, and once again from Classic Work, y'all take care. I'll see y'all next time.